What's going on, everybody? It's Stop Bets. We're checking back in. We got our John Deere Classic PGA Live show coming at you guys here on another beautiful Tuesday evening. Took a 2-week hiatus after the U.S. Open. I went on vacation, and last week we just did not make it happen, but we had plenty of bets. And we had a very, very fun sweat on Sunday. Me and Teaser both sweating out that Thorby, that Michael Thorpe. Jorgensen won outright. What you got him at 80, right?
Yeah, 80-1.
Yep. And we were sweating that hard. He's had the lead after 8 holes, and, or after 7 holes. Then he went to proceed to bogey on 8 and 9, and just tried to get back there. He needed that eagle putt on 17, missed it, and it was history. So, but we did smash a round 4 2-ball for the Discord. So make sure you guys join the link below for the Sharp Bros Discord. Tons and tons of action every single night. Shout out to all the cappers there. Teaser, 2 weeks off from the show. Good to be back. How are you feeling this evening, buddy?
Good. Yeah, like you said, last week was, for me, just a recap after had Henley at the Travelers. I was a tied second, of course. So lost by 1 stroke, called a penalty on himself Friday. So that one stings. Lost by 1.
Who was that?
Henley. He called a penalty Friday. So realistically, I mean, I don't know. Could be good karma. He shot a 61 Saturday, so maybe that would have never happened. But that was lost by 1 there. Thor Bjornsson, I think, was lost by 1 or 2, but had Chris Kirk top 20. So I think that was around 3-1. So that was a good hit for the Discord. A couple round scores here and there. But this week, I can kind of just dive right in. It's kind of really bad odds this week, so we're not going to dive too much into it. Just kind of, I'm going to personally just do outrights this week. So it's par 71, 7,200 yards, John Deere Classic here. I think it's called TBC Deer Run. It's in Illinois. It's kind of what we saw the past 2 weeks, like the Travelers and the
This is the tournament we got to go to.
Yeah.
This is when we got to have live action too.
Yeah. Yeah, we could. Yeah, I mean, 4th of July weekend, it would be a good weekend to go out there. So, it plays like the Travelers, TBC, River Highlands, and then last week as well with Detroit. Detroit's a lot longer, but I mean, as we all saw, it was pretty easy. Hit in the rough, it didn't really matter. People were just, going out there shooting 6-7 under each day. Here, there's a lot of long par 3s. Par 4s are pretty long. Fairways and greens are above average on the PGA Tour, so it's necessary to keep in the fairway, really. And we've seen year after year here accurate ball strikers. A lot of guys who get their first wins here also because, I mean, there's not many big guys on the field this week. So could be a new guy winning this week or, someone you don't really expect. So I'm going to kind of be looking down farther on the board. Few key stats. Also, birdies are better is a big one here. Got to make birdies. So top 10 in birdies or better on the year. Griffin, Henrik Norlander, Grillo, Bud Cauley, Lucas Glover, Joel Damon, Valimaki, and Luke Clanton. And I think par 4 scoring is a pretty big one here, and obviously strokes gain approach and ball striking. So it's really just irons this week. Last few winners we've seen are guys who are good with their irons. So.
Yeah, and piggybacking to all the Pot Geeter outrights last week, I think he was like 125-1. I think it was something like that, 110-1. I've seen
much sense.
Number. I mean, we texted each other after round 1. We were like, we totally forgot about Pot Geeter. And I was mad at myself about Minwoo because I was like, long courses where you just spray it. That's a guy that you can, just plug in. But luckily, he didn't do too well. And then the Pot Geeter, I just didn't think he was going to get it done. He had a terrible start to his Sunday. And Greyersman, I was about to put an outright on him live. I just kept going back and forth, but I like Knapp, and Knapp was good. I got a 8 plus 850 after round 3. I thought that was a really good number because it just kept going down, down, down.
He had a chance too.
Yeah, he had a chance. He needed to make that eagle putt as well, and just missed it. I literally went over the right edge.
Yeah,
So that was tough, but I think that's a lot of momentum going into this tournament, which is a very similar aspect. You know, a wide open field. You have this is kind of where the young guns have shined, and that's what
Mhm.
happened this week. Should happen again, and then you go across the pond to I think it's the Genesis next week, and then it's the
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, Scottish, and then Open.
and then you got the Open. So plenty of golf action moving forward, middle of July into the good old NFL season. We're almost there. I think we got like what 9 more Sundays till
I think
we
so. Crazy.
9. That just it feels good to be in single digits. You know,
Yeah.
we're ready. We're ready. It's always this time of the year where you get tired of those MLB plays and you move towards looking training camp and all that. So we got a comment here. What's up, Alex? Appreciate you tuning in. If you guys have any questions for us, we'll be here for the next 15, 20 minutes, diving into the PGA John Deere Classic here as we search for some outrights. If you guys have any prop plays you're looking at, round scores, matchups, we'll dive right into it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. So we had teaser go through that, the course outlook, course comps, stats, who we should go after. So let's dive into the outright leaderboard. We have Ben Douchebag Griffin at 16-1. How are you feeling about him this week, bud?
Can this guy just take a week off, man? This was the perfect
he's a
time.
robot.
Why is he not taking a week off this week? I don't. Maybe he doesn't play next week, but I doubt it. He'll probably be in Scotland. But
I think he's played every single tournament. He has to.
It's actually insane. I think he's taken like 1 week off. Or maybe not even. So
wow.
Yeah, I don't. Obviously, I mean personally, I would be cool just to skip from 16 to 30. I mean, we can talk about him, but I'm not going to touch anyone in that range. I know
you couldn't pay me $500 to put on Ben Griffin at 16-1. You just couldn't do it.
No.
It's an outrageous number. And then you got Jason Day, who he's been around obviously for a very long time, but been a while since he's won at 25-1. I mean, McCarthy at 25-1.
That's absurd. Yeah.
I mean, he plays well here. He's got a lot of top 20 finishes. He's finished no worse than seventh in 3 consecutive seventh in 3 consecutive starts here. I mean, he makes a lot of sense. It's one of the most pure putters on the tour and iron player. You don't have to be long here. I mean, it makes a lot of sense there for McCarthy, but an outrageous number. So sometimes you just gotta, you look at these numbers and it doesn't make sense. So what we're focusing on probably are 30 and above here. You got Thorby at 30, Poston, Davis Thompson, and Siwoo Kim at 30-1. Any of those make you want to click that outright button?
I could understand Poston at 30-1, just because he's won here before, and he does. Obviously, he would be the guy, good iron player, good wedge player, and a good putter. But yeah, I mean, I would start at this number probably. I don't know if I'm going to do Poston yet. I mean, I think I'm off Thorpe this week. I know he has a good start here last year. I just don't think he's going to win personally. Davis Thompson, I had him last week, won here last year. It's tough to repeat, but he did have a good approach week last week. That's why I'm kind of like drawn towards him again, because I mean, he was my one and done, so I was following him a lot last week. Was top 5 in approach, top 10 off the tee, but couldn't make a putt outside of 10 feet. So, I mean, it was just the putter again. I mean, maybe if you want to chase a hot iron play, then he would be a good play at 30.
Yeah. No, you keep going. Sorry.
Really, for me though, I might start my card. I think you'll be on board with it probably, because I know you're usually on him when I am, and that's Lucas Glover at 40-1.
Swamp ass, baby.
Yeah, he's getting a little older, so it's not like he hasn't been playing too great lately, but the iron play is still kind of there. Obviously, his course history, he's won here in 21 after COVID, tied 6th here in 23, and then a 23rd last year. Coming into this week, 9th at the Travelers signature event 2 weeks ago, which is good to see. His ball striking, he was gaining 3 during that week. The ball striking's there. The past 2 weeks he's played the approach, off the tee to green. But what's new, it's the putting that keeps him back. So like lost strokes at the US Open putting, lost strokes at Travelers, still got 9. So really with him, it's always been the putting. But The ball striking's been there the past few weeks. So I'll probably start with him at 40-1, and great course history as well. So
yeah, Glover makes a lot of sense this week. I might go back to the well with Jake Knapp to start my card at 35-1.
yeah.
I know he was just 80 last week, but he's got the way he hits the ball off the tee is so impressive. It's just effortlessly, and then goes like 370. It's just stupid. And I think he's just in that right mindset that he could get it done. I took Sanjay last year, top 10 here. He makes a lot of sense. But I mean, at 35-1, I think he's got the biggest upside of anybody with, the not being a young gun or anything like that. You have someone at 35-1 with his pedigree, that's a pretty good number there in my eyes. So those two kind of will probably, one of those two will be on my card. I really like Thorby this week, but it's just one of those things where you think you're on him last week and you nailed it. And that's just one of those times, especially in DFS when he's like 20+% owned this week. It's kind of like, just don't lay that chalk this week. So I'm probably going to regret it, but I'll probably leave him off my card. You just got an 80-1 number on a course that fit him very well. He played well. He was second last year at this course. He makes a lot of sense. It's just tough to get back there. But I do want to go back to Knapp this week because I think he's right there. Luke Clanton is another young gun that I think could perform here on a second time playing this course. So there's a lot of young guys in that 30 to 35 range that are pretty good that I just wanted to point out. Probably lay off of Potgieter. And then as we go down the board, you got, Michael Kim at 40-1, tough.
Yeah.
Bud Cauley, Smalley. You got that Rio at 50-1. So I definitely do think those guys are pretty good in that range. Anybody more towards the 40s and 50s you like?
Yeah, I think I guess Cauley's been playing well. I kind of like him. It's a tough number to take him at. Michael Kim, tough number, but both guys who, I think Michael Kim's won here a while back, like 2018. But really for me, I think I might skip past the 50-60 range and go straight to 70, and that's with Grillo. So I think I'm going to go Grillo at 70-1. It kind of is confusing the way I don't know why he would be 70-1. I know he hasn't been playing the best, but like this guy he's won before on tour.
Right.
Know he can do it. Got a second here in 22. Missed the cut in 23, but got a 19th at the U.S. Open, so played well there. Didn't play well last week at the Rocket Mortgage. Not really a course for him. Kind of the course this week is what I like to see him at. RBC Canadian Open at a 24-16 at Charles Schwab. So he's been playing decent. Once again, another guy. He's been ball striking it well, but it's always been the putter with him. So hopefully we can get a hot putter this week. Just kind of looking for guys this week who've been pretty on fire with their approach and ball striking. So I think a 70-1 on him's a pretty good number given his wedge and iron game.
Yeah, I like that. We got Trent here. What's up, Trent? Appreciate you tuning in. He says love Knapp as well. Yeah, he makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
I wish we could get like 40s or 50s on him, but 35-1 is as decent as we're gonna get.
Yeah.
And then he asked if Kevin Roy 65-1 been playing well. He has. I think he's definitely played 60-1 on DK right now as I'm looking at it. But he's definitely got a chance this week, and he's I don't know his course history here.
He said 30th here last year.
But, 30th, yeah.
Just
but
one time,
but course comp from last week played very well, so I can definitely see that. It's a good number there on someone who played well last week coming in, and at a T30 here last year. So definitely good with throwing some pizza money on Kevin Roy there. As I keep going down, Jaeger let us down last week. Do we go back to him? He's 65-1. Putter gets hot. He's going to be right in there. we loved him last week. I thought the plus 200, plus 220, top 20 would have been perfect. Any love for Jaeger this week?
Yeah, he's a tricky one. I mean, I could see him bouncing back this week. He kind of, like, obviously, I love him, Jaeger, but yeah, he usually, you can tell when I thought he would play. I didn't have him last week, but I thought he would play well there. Actually, I was on him outright. So yeah, I did think he was going to play well. But I mean, yeah, he can play well at this course too. I think he's kind of a streaky guy. So if he gets going this week, we've seen him win before. So I don't hate him. And then we were on him last week, so maybe double down like we always say. So
yeah, I mean, I don't even know his stats from last week, but he's
pretty
top
bad.
10. Yeah. He's top 10 in the field of course history. So I mean,
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, he was just all
off the tee was horrific.
13th here last year, 30th. So yeah, he was just bad all around. He lost on approach, ball striking -2. I mean, it was just a bad week. It happens, but
yeah, sometimes
hasn't been great lately. But yeah, it's a little. But
as I keep going down, McCarty makes a lot of sense. I liked him last week as well, 70-1. You already talked about. You talked about Grillo, 70-1. Right? Yeah. He makes a lot of sense. Bezzy, if you he's just been so bad, you can't go back to him. But Victor Perez has been very good lately, 75-1. I know you mentioned Eric Cole pre-stream. That's I think he's a very good bounce back guy, and I know he's been playing. He was a very, very popular name early, faded. And then now I think he's coming back a little bit. So do like him. Cam Champ has been playing pretty well as of late. But as you keep going down, I think in that 70 to 80 range, you got the Coles, the Perez's, and Grillo. That's probably the only ones that kind of stick out to me. Anybody else in that range?
Yeah. I mean, Cole, good course history, just hasn't been playing well at all. So it's tough to take him. Kind of makes sense why he's in that range. But yeah, you said Perez. See who else is in here. I guess
McGreevy at 90-1.
McGreevy.
He's solid.
Valimaki as well, 90-1, a guy who can make a lot of birdies. Maybe like a first round leader for him or something like that. But tough to him. We didn't mention Bridgman at 60-1, another young guy who could maybe get his first win here. And if we go into the 100, another note here, Max Homa's 90-1 this week, which is insane. If you said that to me 3 years ago, I would be like, I'm putting $200.
The fall of Max Homa needs to be studied. It needs to be a 30 for 30. It has to be. Because that guy was supposed to be the next superstar. Yeah. Like, he was winning every single tournament, just 2 or 3 years ago, like you're saying. And now the guy can't make the cut. So that needs to be studied. If someone has an answer, let me know in the comments. But it's got to be studied.
I agree. If we get to over to 100 ones, I mean, it's tough here with these guys. But my long shot of the week is going to be Adam Schenk. He's plus 450 top 20 and like 11-1 top 10. The funny thing with him, he's from the area. I think this is one of his home courses. He's gone 2018 cut, 6th, 4th, withdraw, 4th cut. So you're either going to get a miscut or a top 10 essentially with him at this course. So
but that right there was exactly Pock Eater last week because he played that course and I think he had two made cuts that made be top 10, but then the other several weeks if he just missed the cut. So you're betting these guys. It's a stupid number, 125-1, 110-1, but these courses make sense for these guys because it's a wide open field. It doesn't matter.
Right. So it's like, with this guy, it's either, it could be good to throw like a 5-1 on the top 20 or even just like small play on his top 10, 11-1. Why not? So, I like him there, 150-1 outright. I don't know if he's going to win, but like gets good vibes around here. Almost won in 23, kind of messed up at the end there and got 4th. But that's probably my favorite outright of the week just based off of course history and his good vibes rolling into this course. So
this one's wide open. I'm like I just discussed, but I think we got another good chance to nail it outright. So anybody else
out there? Come in second again. Third week in a row. Yeah.
And if there's anybody that we haven't mentioned or whatnot that you guys are on yourselves or you think you should throw some pizza money on them, let us know in the comments as we move towards some placements and some tournament matchups for the next 5 minutes or so. Probably my favorite top 20 is either going to be Thompson, Sungjae, or Thorby. So one of those three are going to make the card for the plus 150. And then as you keep going down, I mean, Knapp makes a lot of sense, but then Luke Clanton at plus 175. I was on him last week to finish top 20. He faded so hard on Saturday for the 77, but I think that's still something to go back to because he had a solid Sunday the following day. So like him a lot. Then you got in the 200 range, Putnam at plus 240 played very well last week. Trent's Kevin Roy plus 230 is a good one. You could go back to the well here with Steven Yeager, maybe go that route plus 250, Grillo plus 250, Cole plus 280, McGreevy plus 300. So I think those are some long shot guys that have a chance to compete this week at the top 20. Anybody that stands out for you with those odds?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to touch top 20s this week. I just don't. With these type of fields, it's tough. I only did one, maybe find one like I did last week, but I mean, Bud Colley at plus 160 is a little too steep. I mean, in the 200 range, maybe Bridgman at 240. I personally Grillo at 250. That's probably my favorite for the value there at plus 250. And then if you want to go down farther, Valimaki at 320. Just guys who make a lot of birdies, really, I would probably kind of eye. So yeah, I would go with them too as my top two for this week.
The one guy who let me down last week, I had a make/miss cut in the Discord, and my boy Ricky just was so bad on round one, and I'm like, this guy doesn't even want to be out there. Yeah. What do you think? Any bounce back this week for Ricky?
No, I don't think so. He's just too bad right now, man. Too inconsistent. Like
his putter was bad. Off the tee was bad. I mean, he had a good stretch there. 16, 7, 36. Yeah. He was, and then played this last. I mean, he hasn't played this course since 2010, so it's been a while. That's so it'd be tough to trust Ricky this week, but at 50 to 1, wanted to punch that out there because he was a very, very popular name last week. Wanted to cash that, make the miss cut, but did not happen. All right, to the tournament matchups. Like we said, we were off 2 weeks, but we keep receipts. So for the U.S. Open, we'll recap real quick. I had Batia over Novak, and that was not good. Batia was horrific. Didn't make the cut. Novak barely made it, and barely looked like he should have made the cut. So almost was a cash there, but not good enough.
I think mine was worse, if I remember.
Yeah. Watch this. Lowry over I mean, I was rewatching the stream and I was like, oh man, he's gonna hate that he took this so bad.
And the other one was even worse loss because I had Henley over Burns for VIP, and that loss ended up losing by 1 when Burns shot at 80. Yeah. So it is what it is. Yeah.
We're due for bounce backs here. So due for bounce backs. The Lowry, I could not believe his output at the U.S. Open. That was just shocking. He was just like, it's like me at Golf League sometimes. You're just like, dude, I just don't have it tonight. Let's just throw 50 down and on 9 holes and be done.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand what happened. I knew one day he was gonna, like, even at Travelers he didn't play well, so now he's kind of on the decline. He was too hot for a while, and I was like, of course I jump on him the time he cools down a bit. But
yeah, I was riding that cash cow for a while there. Yeah, and then, had to get out. So, all right, do you look at any? You got any locks for us?
Yeah, I'm looking now. These are kind of tough. I'm looking through. They're doing the 3-way matchups now, so I'm just looking through those.
I'm gonna just hammer this one. I think this is a good one.
Yeah, you can go first. I'm thinking.
I talked about this guy briefly, but Sungjae M over Pearson Cootie at minus 125. That's a
matchup.
That is a matchup. That is a tournament matchup over on DK.
Hold up.
Minus 125. So there's the lock of the week for all the people tuning in.
I'm looking what Cootie's done recently. 16th at Charles Schwab, 25th. Okay, yeah, he hasn't done much. Has Sungjae been that bad?
I feel like he's solid. He's got pretty good course record here.
Okay.
You're like, wow, is this really a lock or a trap? What the hell?
Well, I know. I kind of wanted to maybe get in on that. I don't know about. Yeah, Cootie. I don't know because he has a twin, so I get confused which one's which.
True.
Let's see. So we got McCarthy. I'll just read through McCarthy over Poston, Ricky and Samuel Stevens. Wow.
Here you go. As you're discussing, we got Trent here. Clanton plus 115 over Cebu. Like that.
I do, but the funny thing with Clan, he was hot last year when he burst onto the scene. He hasn't been like that great this year. That's what kind of scares me with him. Like he was like so great and everyone like hyped him up. He hasn't. I don't think he's really done much. Like he was in contention last week and then he kind of, like you said, faded.
He just had a bad Saturday and then bounced back.
Yeah, it was that bad Saturday.
He had a 77, I think, on Saturday, which is
30
5 over on that course is
Yeah, that's not good.
That's very, very bad. But bounced back. So I'm a fan of this one. I think Siwoo rates pretty well. If you look at some models, he's going to be up there. I don't know. I don't see it too often with the guy. And I'm usually a Siwoo guy, but so I'm.
Yeah, Siwoo's tough to cap sometimes too.
Let's talk about this guy real quick. I forgot to mention him because he's popping right now in my head. Chris Kirk last week. If he would have won, you would have probably not shown up on the screen last week.
Yeah, I would have been pissed. That's my guy.
So
and then he missed that 3-footer. I was like, oh man, that sucks.
That sucks.
Like,
but then you're like, thank God, because
Yeah,
I didn't miss out on Chris Kirk. Are you going to go back to him at all?
No, I don't think so. With him, like you kind of know when he's going to play well. I don't think he's going to this week. I'm in between the Clanton play because it's plus 110 there. Sung Jae, I could hop on with you, which I kind of like, and then Stevens over Ricky Fowler, but
fading Ricky. Fading Ricky.
Let me see. I'll double check what Siwoo's done lately.
Look at that. They put Thorby versus Thompson minus 110.
I know that's like my
awesome.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured they would do something stupid.
They should have just separated them, and then they both lose and they get more money. I don't know why they did that.
So Siwoo got dead last week for making the cut. He got 84th.
Siwoo?
He's been horrendous lately. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I'll throw in Clanton over Siwoo. I'll rock with my guy Trent there.
There you go. I like that. One guy I forgot to mention as well is Goddard. Goddard has been playing a lot better. He's matched up against Kevin Yu, who actually plays this course pretty well. So I think that's an underrated matchup. And it's minus 110 odds for both of them. So I think that means, hey, I think both of those guys will be there come, make the weekend. But yeah, and then you have Knapp versus Kirk, which kind of intrigues me to go Knapp route minus 110.
Yeah.
But I'll probably lay off of Knapp and maybe just pull the outright and let it be done. But I'm hoping he can get it done because I more and more I'm looking at it, it's like Knapp makes a lot of sense this week. But we'll see. Anybody else we're missing? Anything else you want to say before we get the heck out of here?
I'm good, man. Hopefully we get one this week. I think is another one to go light. Just do like maybe 5 to 6 outrights. Just put all the units. That's what I'm going to do. So
yeah, but I'm a degenerate and I bet
you
balls
do
and 2 balls, and because you've got me addicted to betting. So this is all your fault.
Round scores, you can still do round scores, 3 balls, 2 balls. Those are still fun. So yeah.
I remember when I just did outrights and replacements, and you were like, "Dude, you need to do the matchups. You need to do," and I'm like, "No," and I'm like, "Now I'm just straight up addicted." So.
Got to.
And addicted in a good way. All right, everybody out there, and it's in a good way. Bet responsibly.
Yeah.
First round leader. All right, let's pick one real quick. Let's see what we can throw some gum money on. Which gum is like $5 or $7 now for a big old pack, which is bullshit. So let's see. round finishing position, end of one round leader. Trent's going with what? You said Kevin Yu. Kevin Yu, what is that? Plus 5,000? I think I want to go.
I like Poston.
I might go Smalley, 60 to 1. Smalley could go low.
Let me see who we got here.
Man, I think
Smalley.
Obviously
McCarthy's early in the morning, 55 to 1 or whatever he is now. Yeah, obviously you can go makes a lot of birdies, got her up. And Kevin Roy's solid. I think that's where I would stop. But
I might do Sunjay. Just ride the Sunday train, 50 to 1. 50 to 1. I'm going to go Sunjay or Smalley are my two. Yeah. Knapp, let's see. Knapp is at 50 to 1 too. What if he just let on Thursday the whole way, and then he just gets us an outright?
Knapp's the king of going low at this point. Him and JT Thomas.
Yeah. No, like those. So those three. There you go. What did you say? Anybody?
Yeah, Kevin Roy. I mean, I like Kevin Yu, and then Denny McCarthy's early in the morning too. So
McCarthy. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Sprinkle those. Those are just straight up hard as hell to win. You saw Minwoo. Nobody was really on him last week, and then boom, pops off for -9. So bet those small, but those are three guys that we like. So all right, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We got two more you got a stream next week for the Scottish, and then you have another stream with the last major of the year. So we'll be finishing up our golf videos, moving into the NFL season, which will start with some best ball content moving forward, and obviously with the Sunday live streams. As my guy Teaser won't be there, but I will definitely be there. And you better be tuning in the comments for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are just a shot of adrenaline at Sunday morning. It's unbelievable.
I might have to hit one up this year.
You just cranked up with caffeine and creatine, and you just go to work. All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you guys join each Discord of ours to get round bets, matchups, 3 balls, round scores as we make money throughout the week betting the PGA. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back next week. See you guys.